We are here with our buddy Rob Eldridge from Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles and the Great Ohio Toy Show. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be here.
Great to have you. Not only because you brought all sorts of cool toys to show off, but it's just great to see a great friend and a fellow country music lover.
Oh, I love country music. Yes, sir. Yep, sure do. Got the opportunity to open for some country acts and was in a pretty heavy band in the 90s and had a lot of good times.
And we were chatting off there. I want you to tell listeners, like I said, when we say Rob knows his stuff on the world of country music, we're not kidding. He knows country music almost as well as he knows toys. but tell us the story about meeting Charlie Daniels, and you almost had a hat swap, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I got so Charlie Daniels was my idol growing up as a kid. What Southern raised boy didn't love Charlie Daniels? And so me and my mother made the trip to Nashville. We got to go to Fanfare when it was in Nashville at the Speedway. And so I just bought a hat from the old Silver Spur shop, and it was a Charlie One Horse, had 3 rattlesnakes on it. I loved it, and I paid big money for that. Well, I got to meet Charlie, and I walked up to him, and the first thing he said to me was, "Charlie One Horse." And I was like, oh, it's my hat, And then he hugged me, shook my hand, and, I'm shaking because this is Charlie Daniels. This is like meeting God, And so he said, Rob, how about me and you trade hats? And I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And he had this awesome big brim hat with turquoise on it. And I said, no, because I just gave $300 some for this hat, But now, oh my God, I would have given anything to have that. But later on in our band career, we signed a contract to open for him at a place in Kettering called the Coliseum, and we were also on the finals to go to Nashville and be on the Charlie Daniels Talent Roundup. Wow. And that just wasn't, like I said, that just didn't work out. But I got the letter saying, you're going to be in the studio and this is the date.
That's awesome.
And the same day, David McCormick from Ernest Tubb Record Shop called me and said, you're going to be on the Midnight Jamboree after that, opening for Travis Tritt.
Wow.
So, but when the Talent Roundup closed, who knows the band in Rob from Ohio, so they couldn't justify us being there at the thing. But, little things like that happen, but that's okay.
And see, here's the beauty. If people stop by Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectibles, they can talk toys and talk country music.
I love country music, and I was blessed with some great guys in our band. We had a great time, man. It was just a great part of my life, and I do love country music.
You mentioned, the old CMA Fanfare. Great Ohio Toy Show is kind of like fanfare for fans of vintage toys, isn't it?
It sure is, yeah. People come from all over the world, and I'm not kidding. I mean, yesterday our friends from England just came in. They come in every Tuesday before the show. They're here now. They're shopping. They're eating locally. They love Chick-fil-A. They don't have a Chick-fil-A over there. So they love Chick-fil-A.
That's the Lord's chicken.
That's right. That's the Lord's chicken. So, and I love those guys. And when Ian come up, he hugged me and brother, it's so good to see you. And just the bond of the guys that share the love of our history and our childhood. It's a wonderful thing, man.
What makes the toy community so special and such a family and so tight-knit like that?
Well, I think it's because, a lot of these guys, you go to these shows and you spend a few days with at conventions and things like that, and you get to know each other real well. And just the passion of history and the passion of trying to hold on to a great memory from your childhood, and you learn to share those bonds. Those are intimate moments. I mean, I'll share an intimate moment with you here about Captain America, and when you know that about someone, it just creates a bond. And I would say right now in my life, some of my best friends are in the toy business.
Man, it's funny you say that because it just kind of struck a note with me, and Peyton will remember this as well. So a couple weeks ago, we were in Chattanooga, Tennessee for IBA World of Bluegrass, and I'm sure you know who Billy Strings is.
That name's familiar.
He's a big hot rod bluegrass picker singer right now. He's filling out arenas, 30, 40,000 people, doing bluegrass. And in part of his keynote address, and they did a little interview with him, they asked him, what made him go back to bluegrass? Because he said during middle school and high school, he'd been in some heavy metal bands and he'd bought an electric guitar. Then kind of at a certain point, he started going back to bluegrass because he'd remembered his dad playing it when he was a kid. And he said, man, he goes, it kind of, because it was associated with memories of his childhood. He said it took him back to a time where he didn't know anything bad about the world. You know, and it kind of took him back to a time that was simpler, and he felt, you know, comforted and home where he didn't have all these problems. And that's kind of a place he wanted to kind of be at. So he kind of went all in on bluegrass. It's kind of the same thing with this toy market. You know, you're going back to a time where the world was a lot simpler, and you can kind of put yourself in a mindset on you didn't know anything bad about the world. You know, you just new, having fun with your friends and playing with your toys.
And that's what we've tried to create with the Great Ohio Toy Show. The minute you step out of your car, you start smelling the food, you hear the DJ, and you see people walking out with things from their childhood. There's no politics. There's none of that bull crap. It's just everybody's having fun, and everybody's there to have fun and have a good family event. And it's just something that, you know, I look forward to twice a year. And right now, today, I'm like on cloud 9, you know, getting to do this and talk about it and share it. You know, it's great. Yeah.
So I think you saw in the spring show, we brought my daughter Daisy for her first Ohio Toy Show.
Beautiful.
And we got her this red apple that had like a chime in it or something. And Santana had one. She was a kid, and we found it's an older vintage toy. It predates Santana by quite a bit, but we'd found it. And it's so funny because at the show she really liked it, so we got it for her. And then we had busted it out at home. It kind of started scaring her a little bit, and so we put it aside. And then in just in the last month or so, we brought it back out, and she loves it. Like and it's so cool because Santana will take videos and send it to her sister and be like, she's playing with one of these apples like we did when we were kids. So it's cool how things, you know, kind of go full circle. And that's one thing that's so great about the Great Ohio Toy Show. It's awesome that you guys have kids 10 and under free, so people can bring the kids and grandkids, and you guys can kind of have some cross-generational bonding at a place like this.
Yeah, that's what it's about. You know, the fathers and mothers are sharing, you know, we had this when I was a kid, we had this, and then that child's going to be like, oh, well, mom had this or dad had this. And for the toy business, as a toy seller, buyer and seller, that helps carry on what we're doing, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
You brought in some super cool toys
I did,
from your personal collection.
Yes.
Why don't you show some of these off? And we'll get some of these personal stories. That's part of what's so fun about the Great Ohio Toy Show is you just go through table by table and just brings back all sorts of cool memories.
Right, sure. So here's these are from most of these are from my personal collection. This is my personal Gomez hand puppet. I love the Munsters. I love the Addams Family. I love the Universal Monsters. Here is a 70s Duncan Batman Batmobile still on the card.
That's awesome.
Okay, these were all right out of my case. Two of my
and Batman's yellow and what Robin's red.
Yeah. We couldn't invest a lot of money back in the 70s, you know.
So fun.
One of my favorite pieces in my collection that I just recently got was this rare V from the Aliens movie V. M16 machine gun still on the card. I've never seen this.
Wow.
So I bought it for a good price. I put it in my case at the show, and a guy said, how much? And I said, I'm going to give you a price that it's not for sale. And I didn't want to sell it, so I knew it was coming home with me. Yeah. And then just recently, I had been looking for this all over, and actually a friend here locally had found this for me. But this is a rare 60s Planet of the Apes Mattel machine gun and the mask. This was sold as a set.
That's fun.
Yeah, still has the sticker. Here's and these are a couple pieces like things that you'll see. This is a $76 million man at the show. This is super rare. This is a Mattel Rumblers, still new old stock. This is the primo. What you're looking for as a collector is new old stock stuff. Never been touched by hands. Never been circulated. You know, this little piece right here is probably $200 or $300.
Wow.
You know, when it was $199 marked down at one point.
And you mentioned that that's one of the primo collector pieces. One thing that's great, and you and I have talked about before about the Great Ohio Toy Show, is, you know, this chop cycle here. If you go to the Great Ohio Toy Show in the 8 buildings, 700 plus tables, you'll see that at every different price point. You'll see the primo collector ones like this, the new old stock that is a collector's dream. You'll also see one that's gently loved,
affordable,
and maybe one that's well loved. Sure. You know, depending on whether you're just a curiosity seeker or you want to get one for the kids or grandkids to play with, just like you had, or whether you want one to sit on in a showcase on a shelf.
Right.
You can get one from $2 to $200.
Absolutely. And your primo and my primo is totally different.
Yes.
So there's something for every primo.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's great. The variety is off the chain.
because you've mentioned that to me before, and I think it was last time we were there, and I noticed that like there was a particular toy that over the course of the multiple buildings we went in, and I've never been able to make it through all the buildings.
It's
but
a lot.
We made it through 3 or 4 of them, and there was one toy that I saw pop up several different times at different quality, different stages. Like I said, one of them was in the box, one of them was still in really good condition, one of them was on a looked like a kid had worn it out, which is great. And so that'd be the one that maybe I wanted to get for Daisy, like that'd be the one, so it was really neat to see that, because I think some people might have this idea that, I'm not a collector, so I don't know if this would be for me, and that's not the case.
No, it's even if toys is the last thing on your mind, for $6 per person to get in, sometimes you'll pay more than that just to go to a food truck rally. Well, we have 10 food trucks. Okay, we have a live DJ that doesn't cost you anything. It's a beautiful day. If just look at it as, I'm not into toys, but I like museums.
Yeah.
So go check out things that you're going to find something from your past. I don't care what age you are, and you can own it again.
Yeah.
So.
It's super cool. We took my father-in-law this past spring and my mom and Daisy, and my father-in-law still talks about it. He's like, man, that toy show was awesome. I didn't know what to expect. That was a blast.
That's awesome, man.
It felt like every other table was like, I had one of these.
Yeah. That's what makes it, worth doing. Yeah.
So tell us about the Spirit of 76 figurines you got.
Oh, okay, yeah. So these are a couple really special memories from my childhood. So I can remember right now, I can see it going to Gold Circle in Dayton, and I would buy these little Revolutionary War soldiers, and they made like Daniel Boone. Of course, they had the American soldiers and the British, but they came apart. You build them, and you could play with them, shoot them with a rubber band, they'd explode or whatever. But this is new old stock. This is fresh out of a box. These are from the 70s. Right now, I can remember a Christmas morning. My mother knew that I loved these so much that one Christmas morning I woke up and there was a Yankee Clipper sled laying under the tree, and there was about 25 of these just sitting around my sled. So I can see that right now. So when I look at this, that memory.
That's where you go.
That's where I go. And old Captain America, I love Captain America, vintage Captain America. This is not the original one, but Captain America is special to me because when I was 5 years old at Miami Valley Hospital, I had my tonsils taken out. And they let Captain America, my original Captain America, go with me because I was scared, okay? When I woke up and they gave me ice, Captain America was laying on my chest, and that stripe right there had a little dot of blood on it.
Oh, wow.
So Captain America took the hit for me.
Wow.
So he's special to me. So when I look at him, I see myself as 5 years old.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
And that's what it's all about. And then,
and you said that's not the one you had as a kid.
This is
but
the
it's the same model.
It's the same model,
the
same
great
everything.
shape.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful cotton.
Yeah. So
jumpsuit.
Right. So I had to have that in my collection,
Yes.
And then also as a kid, Burger Chef was the best thing going,
Mom still talks about Burger Chef.
Yeah. So I collect Burger Chef stuff. This is an actual unused new old stock triple play fun mill from Burger Chef. And if anybody that could ever bring back Burger Chef, please do so. But these had baseball cards on them, and then you flip it up, and they also have monsters on the reverse side. So being a monster fan in Burger Chef, this I had to have.
What got you into the monsters, the Universal monsters? The werewolves, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, all that stuff. What got you into the monsters? I know that's a real passion of yours.
Yeah, it is. So growing up, it's another memory thing. So my dad worked at General Motors, and he worked second shift. So I only got to spend time with my dad on the weekends. So me and Dad on Sundays after church, we'd watch Westerns. On Saturday nights, we'd watch, back in the day, there was I think it was Bob Shreves. I think I'm saying his name right. But he would play old movies, sometimes horror movies. And then we had Shock Theater and Dr. Creep. So you watched all those old black and white. So as a kid, you're setting up with your buddies, doing your little sleepovers and stuff. Man, that's the thrill, of watching that stuff. So I can remember the first time I seen that goofy Creature from the Black Lagoon hand coming through where the guy had got tore up and he's laying on the bed in the boat, and that hand's coming through. As a kid, you're just like, oh my God, It's just about the memory. So when I see those monsters, it's it's just cool. You know, I'm not into the, you know me, I'm a Christian man. I'm not into the horror and slash and all that stuff. But
the monsters are fun.
The monsters are cool. Yeah,
and I know you lean into the monsters as well, not only in your shop and things you collect, but also with the Great Ohio Toy Show, especially the fall one. The monsters just go hand in hand because we're in October, and you guys even have some of the monsters on a bunch of your merchandise and T-shirts and ball caps, right?
Yeah. So monsters is a passion. Especially most of the toy community loves monsters. So if you're into Halloween, if you like the horror stuff, if you like the creepy stuff, the gross out toys and things like that, they call it, there's going to be a ton of it. And I mean, we've got some major dealers. We've got dealers like Froggy Flips will be there. He's one of the biggest YouTube sensations there is. He's a dealer at our show.
He's done videos from the event.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, so he'll be there in Building 2. We've got one of the godfathers of punk rock music is a vendor there. Tesco V, who is the lead singer of the Meatmen, he's a vendor there. We've got a gentleman, Joe Riley, who's been on the cover of Guitar Magazine and things. Wow. He's a vendor there. We've got people that's coming from Hollywood. I can't really say who they are online, but there's wrestlers there. There's people from the toy community. I'm talking about Mattel and places like that. They come there to see what's happening, you know?
Man. So it's one of the largest toy shows in the world. It's in Greene County this weekend at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Expo Center in Xenia. It is 9 to 5 on Saturday for $6. If you want to get in early, starting at 8, it's just $10. And you can get in early bird. I know that the line for early bird last year was almost in the street.
It's crazy. But don't worry about lines. That line, once we open the doors, it's gone. It soaks them up.
And one more thing that you guys do that's super fun is tell us about the toy bounty hunt. This is always a lot of fun. So Boba Fett's going to be out in full force this weekend.
Yeah, so I'll tell you about the bounty hunt, and then I'm going to give you a little insight into next year, which is our 10-year anniversary.
Let's do it.
So the bounty hunt is there are toys there that we just recently put the hints out. So we'll give you a hint for, let's say, this Batmobile. We're not going to tell you exactly what it is, but we're going to give you hints to try to find it. We'll tell you that this bounty toy is in building 1, so to speak.
And there's one in every building.
There's one in every building. There's only 8 bounty toys. So if you follow the hints and you happen to purchase that toy, the vendor's not going to give you any clues. If you happen to think that's it and you purchase it, and then if you do, that vendor will say, congratulations, you just found the fugitive toy for this building, and you need to go see Rob for potentially $100 cash. So we try to keep the toy to where that $100 is going to be more than the toy.
Yeah.
And then a little insight into our 10-year anniversary, which is awesome. There will be a new toy company that is doing an exclusive toy just for our 10-year anniversary. Whoa. So you'll be able to get that toy only at the Great Ohio Toy Show. And every person through the door will get one raffle ticket for $1,000 cash and one raffle ticket for a chance of winning up to 50 really good prizes, including lifetime VIP to our show.
And that's for next year, next spring.
Yeah,
right?
That's the spring show. And actually, I've just posted the dates on our door over there by the shop, that big yellow sign.
Guerrilla marketing at
That's
its finest.
Right, buddy. Get it.
Man, Rob, thanks so much for stopping in. Thanks for bringing these cool toys. And for folks listening in Radio Land, we'll have the video component of this interview up later today. So if they want to see all these toys for themselves, they can watch that. But hopefully they all come out to the Great Ohio Toy Show this Saturday. And they can find Great Ohio Toy Show on Facebook to learn more.
Yeah, Daniel, I love you guys. I appreciate what you do for us.
We appreciate you, bud. Thank you so much.